Rosann, we've known each other for 3 decades.
Yes, a long time.
And you have been a professional counselor.
As you have been a professional counselor, how many people have we known in Hong Kong?
Yes, quite a lot.
So many different people.
And so many changes.
And that's why we want to think about women now and women then, and how women have changed over these years.
That must be very interesting.
Yes.
And it covered different generations.
Always.
Well, if they're interested in what we are talking about, how are they going to find us?
You're going to find us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, PsychoAlchemy. We are Women Now and Then.
See you there.
Oh, Dorothy, we talked about the tension.
Yes.
The mother-daughter tension. Does it exist on so many levels? And sometimes it's verbalized, and sometimes there's so much anger. It just seems, what can I do? Such a thing happened
Yes.
when I was a young teenager. My mother truly wanted me to go for religious instruction after school.
Okay.
Now, we went to church on Sundays, and my logical mind, why do I have to go to get more information during the week? Well, you're getting older, you're going to go for confirmation. You must do this. And I thought, what is this my mother saying? I must do it. I was crying. She was angry. Oh, it was terrible. I just would not go. Would not go. Would not go. She must have talked to my father.
Oh.
So the next day, my father said to me, make me a cup of coffee. Nobody talks with, would you please make me? Not happen. In Italian families, make me a cup of coffee. Sit down. We need to talk. So I did that, and just my father, I don't know how it was just my father and me alone, but he must have planned that. And he said, I hear your mother wants you to do some more religious instruction. I said, yes, and it's ridiculous. I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. I can learn it myself. So I gave all my reasons. I can learn it myself. I don't need it now. My sister doesn't have to do it. And he said, I hear you. So I said, I don't have to go? And he said, no, you have to go. So I said, you're not being very logical. And I was going, Dad, come on, you're not being... And he said, you go because your mother wants you to go. It will make her happy. And it will make her mother happy. So here we had some kind of tension going on where my father was ready to talk to me, but he already had made up his mind what I was going to do. And he put my mother's happiness and her mother's happiness above the logic of the whole thing. And I think that was one of the strongest lessons to me, that within families, sometimes there's no logic.
And I will say your father is not making a request. This is a demand.
Absolutely. It was a command. It was a command. You will go. It will make your mother happy.
Well, I have a less demanding situation. For a while, typical women always think that we are overweight, right? So I heard so many different kind of diet. One of them is like a vegetable soup diet. So I have been trying that for quite some time. My mother, she is always so proud of the delicious Chinese soup she can make with a lot of meat, chicken, everything, ham, and it's so greasy. And she said, you have to drink that. But that is totally against my vegetable soup diet, right? So I said, Mom, please just let me have my vegetable soup diet. And I think for almost 3 weeks, I didn't drink any of her delicious Chinese soup. And one day, similar, my father I went back home and my father said, hey, come, let's talk. I said, huh? what happened. Seldom men will do something like that. And he is more polite in a way. He said, I heard you are having this particular diet called the vegetable soup. I said, yes, it works. I lost some weight. My belly is a little bit smaller, right? Didn't you notice it? Yes, I noticed. It's good for you. But you make your mom very sad.
Oh.
Because you are not drinking her soup. I said, but Dad, mom's soup is actually gravy, right? And actually it's all grease. And it's not helping my dad. And then my father said it in a less demanding way, but more authoritative way. The only contribution your mom can give you now is her soup. Because you have to work all the time, she cannot control what you're eating during the day and not even during the dinner. So all she can serve you is to make you the soup. So drink it. And it's so funny. And
There
when
it
you said
was.
that, same,
There it
right?
was.
And mom seems to always know what is the best for you. And I don't know about the girls now. If they don't drink, they just pour it in the toilet bowl and flush the toilet. I don't know. But in my days, even though I struggle, at the end, if you like your father is love from mom and love from grandma, you have to oblige. For me, it's like, how can you say no to love, right? And
Yeah.
especially they also put the men on the table. So at the end of the day, I just act accordingly. And that's one thing, since this is more like you going to an extra class of religion study, me drinking another extra 3 bowls of gravy soup. But to a lot of ladies, women today, they are not willing to listen. They can fight. And I have so many clients now in their mid-30s, when in their 20s, their mom had a lot of suggestions like, I don't suggest you go out with a black guy, there's no future. Or why after you graduate you go to Shanghai to work. If you go to London, I can understand, right? And then why don't you work for Citibank? Why you go for this corporation? So a mother always want to influence. I would see women now are less willing to
Listen.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, sometimes I just wonder whether not listening is a way women sort of different, willing to stand on their own instead of being influenced by their mother. Or is it because maybe the children now are more independent, right? Or less sensitive to the mother's need? And would that be a long-term effect on the mother-daughter relationship? What do you think?
All of that. I also think that there's more variation. We've been talking about intact families where there is a mother and a father, and that mother and father are bringing up, us, the children in our
Right.
family. I see many more differences in families these days. Often two career-oriented people. So I'm dealing with people in their 30s and in their 40s.
Yes.
They mutual affection, there's some kind of sexual attraction, and they also think about having a family, but they know more about careers than they do about family. I also find with international families in Hong Kong, there isn't the close presence of his family or her family. So this pair have to not only keep the careers going, keep the money coming in, but now they have to also raise children together, and they have no experience at raising children. And they don't have a sister-in-law or a cousin nearby. So our expat families are a greater challenge, different kinds of challenge. Different kinds of challenge. To say nothing of our single-parent families. And there are many more single-parent families now. Just the father, just the mother. They only have the kids for the school year. They only have the kids for the summer. So our kids are getting a little bit emotionally resilient to who they have to listen to. Back on the cell phone again. And the peer group influence.
Yes.
And actually, there's less food being prepared in the home.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have a helper in the home, you can buy frozen dinners, you can buy meals on the way home. Everything is a bit easier. Cleaning the house, not so difficult anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
The surfaces are non-stick. Things get cleaned up.
True.
The laundry doesn't have to be ironed. So there is not as many housekeeping responsibilities to teach children so they can participate. If you say, we want you to straighten your room, some children are sharing a room, bunk beds. You only have to straighten a bed. Well, Mom, it doesn't matter to me. I can get in that bed. Certain amount of logic to that. No one will see it during the day. So what can they do to help out?
Right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
That maybe we don't want to condemn contemporary parents. We want to ask them to think, well, what would you like to do with your children? Not only what's good for the children, what would you like to happen? And I see families doing more basic cooking together, learning to bake bread.
Yeah.
That's
right,
one
right.
thing.
Those ABC plays, right?
Yes.
Parent and children go to.
Right,
Yeah.
parent and children. Or make your own pizza. Friday nights where all the assembled down, we're going to have pizza night. So that there becomes a family social activity. Or movie night just for our family. But these young parents need to think up what can they do with their children because their own growing up years are so different. Where we hit the conflicts with today's kids are how many hours on computer games? Oh my goodness. Parents, relatively few parents have years of experience on computer games.
Yes.
Some do, but most don't. How much of the computer time is actually homework? Because so many of the schools have
Demand.
your homework, is on the screen. So then click when your mom comes into the room, click to homework. So that this again, the technological change of our life is forcing new kinds of problems where parents have to think, but they were not trained by their parents on how to think
Right, it's
about
a totally different issue.
Yeah.
Where when they grew up, they don't have that problem. But when you just now describe all the roles and responsibility mom used to play,
Yes.
whereas now it seems all these responsibility have been taken away, right? When we were young, the mother was responsible for feeding us, cleaning up the place, and it's like when we see how our parents handle the household duties and taking care of our father ourselves, we are actually learning quite a lot.
Yes.
But now, especially in Hong Kong, the mother's role, the woman's role in the family are getting so small. I think the Filipino maid becomes the surrogate mother, right?
the Ama drama.
Drama. She's the one that do everything. So that's why, I don't know whether you heard about this kind of story. A lot of working mother, they will go home and fire of the Indonesian maid or Filipino maid, mainly because when she, after a whole day's work, she opened up the door and tried to, hey, George, come over, mom is back. Baby didn't come over. And when George just run over to the maid and kissed the maid, and the working mother becomes so envy.
Yes.
Without knowing, she has very little contribution to the babies, to the boys' everyday life, right? The boy has breakfast, lunch, or maybe even dinner with the maid, not with the parents. And so the mother and child relationship, because of our busy work life, and also because I would say a lot of Chinese women are more than willing to allow the maid to do all the cooking and do all the cleaning, all the washing. So they actually take away their role in the family. The children don't see this woman as working. She's the one who bring back the computer with a whole stack of paperwork and start working. So there's no...
It's difficult, Dorothy.
Very difficult,
It's very difficult.
Yes.
a different kind of example. When I
Yes.
was working with Puerto Rican families in New York City in 1960s, many rural migrants into an urban area.
Yes.
There weren't computers, but if the woman could get a job outside the home, that was good. There might be an auntie, somehow a third adult, father, mother. So there's 3 or 4 adults raising 3 or 4 children, households of 7 or 8 people. But no time for everybody to sit together. So whoever came home first would start the soup.
Oh, yeah.
Another person would cook the rice.
Right.
Another person would do this. And whichever adult was there would feed the younger children.
Yes.
So there we saw the economy changing the life patterns of families. These days, we have so much new communication technology.
Yes.
Women are so happy for getting jobs. Women I talk to, the 30-somethings don't want to get married. They don't want to have that responsibility. What do they want? They want their own money by themselves.
Yeah, right.
Don't want to talk to any parents, any about money.
Yeah.
They want time to travel.
Travel that for
Time to travel. And on Friday nights, they would like to go and drink with their friends.
Yes.
That seems to be one of the things that young women, women in their 20s and 30s, not yet ready to be into a family. And families, thank the Family Planning Association, Hong Kong families are small. Less than 2 children.
Less than 2.
So it's 1 child. Now you can imagine how much rice do you need to cook for 2 adults and 1 child. And then who's going to clean up? She hasn't seen the baby she wants. How do a husband and wife divide that up? Yet, in addition to the tasks and the skills, there are attitudes that we get from our parents. We almost inherit them. I saw my mother and father visit their parents every weekend. That we were all relatively close enough.
Yes.
And if we didn't go visit them, there was a telephone call, but we certainly the next weekend. There was not a question of do you want to go?
You have to go.
Not even a question of obligation. It was a habit.
Yes.
It was a cultural habit.
Yeah, tradition.
That you do that. Now, with our long distance relationships from families, that seems to break down. We don't go see parents on weekends, but maybe the parents come to see, because grandparents, our grandparents can all travel less expensively than a family of 3 or a family of 5, whatever. So we then have intensive periods of time. But what do we remember about? What do we remember about how our mothers used to do things, or how our mothers would solve a problem, or what would mom say with this situation?
Yes.
So it's not only the tasks and the skills, but what went on in the conversation? How did we absorb our mother's sense of values? How did that happen? Not only do you look like your mother, you're probably very much like your mother in your relationships.
Yes, exactly. When you said that, I have a similar situation. My parents will regularly visit the older generation people, and to us it's more like a respect. And every time when we went to visit these old ladies, my father will stay behind a little bit longer so that he can give them some pocket money. He won't give it in front of everybody because it's very embarrassing for these old ladies. And those old ladies always love my father. And when my father passed away, or sometimes he cannot attend this kind of function before he passed away, my mother will be the one that do all these. So I can see that without teaching, they are actually doing it in front of us. So obviously, by seeing that all the time, is in me.
Yes.
And I know that I have to at least give them a call, pay them a visit. If they come over secretly, I'll give them some money in order to, they will feel so happy. Oh, 唔使啦, 唔使啦, 唔使啦. But actually they feel so happy.
Of course.
Right. And when you said that, women now, and if they are not doing anything like these in front of their children, and all they do is just if they get married, they just go to Japan to ski or maybe go to Korean to shopping, and there's no such thing as the relationship building. I can imagine the next generation, they will not do it. They don't see it anymore. Like in Hong Kong
Now.
right,
Now.
especially less and less people stay in Hong Kong for the CNY, Chinese New
Yes.
Year, right? And when we were young, CNY, Chinese New Year, is the best time of the year. We have all the good food, we got the money, and all the relatives gather together to play mahjong,
Yes.
and a lot of fun. But now, just before Chinese New Year, people just took off to different part of the world, and the relationship changes. And a lot of Chinese will tell me, once their mother passed away, those regular meetings no longer
don't
happen.
take place.
So
Yeah.
maybe at our last section, we can maybe go a little bit into, apart from the books and the movies, we can talk about, so what can we do?
What can we do?
What can we do?
Contemporary question.
Yes.
Yes. What can we do now?
Yes.
Very good.
All
Dorothy.
right,
What do
come
we do?
back.